Today I have a huge case of the I don't wannas. There's nothing particularly wrong. It's just some days you probably know what it feels like. You just have these moments where you don't want to do anything. And like the only really appealing thing is just kind of like sitting in bed, checking out, binging Netflix, eating something delicious. But obviously none of these are options. So what do we do when none of these are options? Because this is not optional. Well, we do cardio. We do what we're supposed to do, right? So I'm gonna do it even though I really don't want to, because discipline is doing the shit you don't want to. No, that's not how it goes. Because discipline is doing things that you don't want to. No. Well, let's try this again. I'm tired. So I'm just gonna do this cardio and then I get to eat. So there are positives ahead. Okay, so cardio is done. It's not too bad. You always feel better when it's over. But now I'm about to cook up meal number 2. Then I have a shoulder workout, and so it's chicken. I just threw it in a bag because that was the biggest thing I had to store it. But just want to let you know or show you that when I'm meal prepping, the way to make it the most simple is just to cook in large batches, then store it in large batches. Especially if you work from home like I do, then I can just go pull this out of the fridge, weigh it out with the rice, vegetables, whatever I'm cooking with it. And you know, cooking the protein is what takes most of the time. So even if you cook off nothing else and just a good lean source of protein like chicken breast, then it's going to save you a lot of time and you're going to be less likely to order something because you don't want to wait for something to cook or you don't want to cook. So I'm just going to put this meal together and then hit a workout. Alright guys, I'm going to try to walk you through this workout with something a little different, with a little voiceover, because the reps change per set and it's kind of confusing. It's something that I can't really, put into a montage. It just is a little weird. So this is a machine press and I have drop sets in this. So right now it's just like a straight set that I'm doing, but the next set it turns into be a 6 drop 8. I believe, but I don't know that I showed it. Let's see. Sometimes I have to go a little bit lower on the drop sets due to my shoulder acting up if I go too heavy. So I believe I think this is a 4 drop 8. Let's see if I actually do that. But a drop set is just where you drop the weight after you do like 4 heavy movements. Then you drop it, and then you get down to 8. I didn't even film the drop set, so that's cool. Good job, Cody. This one is a superset. So I will go right into this lateral raise, front raise combination here, and then I will go straight into a lying reverse fly. And it seems like it should be pretty easy, but by the time you make it over to the reverse fly superset, your shoulders are definitely burning. So here is the reverse fly movement I'm about to do here. And I believe it is 12 reps on the lateral raises, and then it is 12 reps on the reverse flies here. And I know in my head I was thinking, damn, I don't know if I can even get these 12 reps. But I certainly got them, or maybe it was 10. So if you're counting whatever it was that I did, that was the rep scheme. But what I have written down here is 12 and 12. And then after I am done here, any day now, after I am done here, I moved into a hammer press. So dumbbell hammer press. Biggest difference here is that instead of your hands facing outwards, you're in a neutral position. And these are definitely, they're pretty intense. I like them personally because they hurt my shoulder less. than when you have your, arms just straight out, just like a regular military press. But they are a little bit awkward at first to get used to. I enjoy them though. But so this is also a straight set right here. According to my notes, it was just the rep scheme is supposed to be 15 reps, then you do 8 reps, and then you do 6, drop 6. Sometimes I do more reps if I feel like I can do more. So even if something says 6 reps and then you drop and do 6, I'll just keep going until I feel like I can't. So I'm doing these reps here with the 65 pounds, and then I drop down to 45, which is a pretty big drop, but if you've ever done shoulders before, they get fatigued pretty quickly. So even if you drop down pretty drastically, you're still gonna feel those shoulders burning. So big drop, but I definitely still felt it. So then I just finished off the drop set here with 45s. And after the hammer dumbbell presses, I moved over to seated lateral raises, and these were also drop sets. So I believe it was 10 on the lateral raises, and then I would drop the weight there and then move. I only dropped it, I think, to 30 pounds on this one, so not as big of a drop, only a 5-pound drop. I think with lateral raises, it takes a little bit more time for my shoulders to get fatigued than it does with actual hammer press, but also it's less involved with the cardio aspect of things with the lungs. So didn't have to quite drop as much there, but it still produces a pretty darn good burn. If you're someone who gets stuck on a certain weight for a long time, drop sets are a really good tool to use. Say you can't get say you have to do 15 reps with 35 pounds. If you can't do 15 reps with 35 pounds, you can do as many as you can, and then you can drop the weight and then finish off the number of reps you're supposed to do. So they're a good tool for one, to really feel the burn, but two, to get unstuck, but also, they're just kind of fun. And so this is a reverse fly, and this is also a drop set. So this one, I believe I was doing 10 and then dropped the weight down, and then finished off with 8 reps. And the whole order of this goes, so it starts with 12 reps, then you 10 reps, and then you do another 10, drop 8. So you're feeling the burn, you're pretty exhausted. This is my last set. So anytime you see a drop set, that was my last set of the movement. As you can tell, I'm pretty fatigued and having to take little rests here because I couldn't quite make them all through, but I just took a little rest and kept it going. Then I just finished it off with some abs, because you do need to, work your abs to a certain extent. They are like other muscles in that they do grow, and you can apply progressive overload. That's why I always use machines where you can load up some weight to progressively overload the muscle, just like anything else. But ultimately, nutrition is going to be what reveals your abs. You cannot spot reduce. And that is it, guys. Alright, so workout was successful. Always gotta have a good shoulder day, especially since I got the cortisone shot, so things are not as painful. I still feel it a little bit, and I know it's temporary still, so I'm just enjoying it while I can. But got my usual pre-workout shake here, and usually I get back to work, but today I'm actually just gonna make it a point to rest my brain, because I can tell my brain is overloaded. I don't know if you guys feel that way, but it's basically like when I don't rest my brain for extended period of times and I just try to keep going and going and going, it's hard for me to focus. I feel like I have brain constipation. Things just aren't working up here properly. So I'm gonna give my brain a rest, just zone out. I just like to, basically I call it brain wander time. So I'm still going to be at my computer, at my desk and stuff like that, but I'm just gonna let myself wander, whether that's browsing Amazon for shopping, watching YouTube, etc., etc. That's what I'm gonna do. Make it a point to rest my brain and just kind of chill a little bit on this weekend. So I will see you at the next meal and all that usual fun, repetitive jazz that is included on this journey to the stage. I know this is repetitive, but this is just the real life. Like, I'm trying to show the realistic view of what it is to do bodybuilding. And maybe that's not an interest of yours or anyone watching this right now. But I feel like there's just a lot of people out there who don't have realistic expectations and how to obtain a certain physique. So more than anything, I want to portray that. So as boring and rigid and routine as it might be, that's just the reality. I enjoy it, but I know it might not be as fun to watch. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling and let my brain wander. So here is dinner. Got the usual chicken, asparagus, and now, the hunger is hitting. So I'm putting some spinach underneath the chicken here, and then we've got the rice. And I always say, if you're feeling hungry, make sure you use volume of vegetables to your advantage. So that is what I'm doing with the spinach. It just helps me feel a little bit more full. There's hardly really any calories in the spinach, so you can use it pretty liberally. I do still weigh it just so I know where I'm at and so I can be consistent with it. And then for this sauce, I didn't put any dressing on it. I just dropped something. Carly found it. Yeah, is that good? So I just used the flavor gang sauce on here with the chicken and just let that be the dressing. I tried to use like a fat-free balsamic last time and the flavors just did not mesh very well, but I might use that in the future. I don't know, but for now, I've got this awesome plate of food that I'm gonna go consume, and then we will go from there. But yeah, I feel like I need to apologize for how dull this content is. Just because it's repetitive. But we'll get into that a little bit more later. Now it's time for me to relax, watch something, I don't know what. And then I guess generally what I do is I find something relatively, depends. So relatively interesting or relatively boring. And if it's boring, then I'll just kind of like cruise Reddit and or Twitter and just doom scroll. So it's really a great, it's its own sport that I partake in every night. And the goal is to try to sleep without anxiety and see if you can make it happen. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But sometimes it really is a challenge. So I'm gonna go do the usual. Last meal of the day, and it is mango, 205 grams to be exact, and 100 grams of raspberries, and 32 grams of almond butter, Barney butter to be exact, which if you have not tried it, you should, because it's delicious. Unless you're like, yeah, never mind, maybe you shouldn't try it 'cause it's kind of like crack, so it could possibly lead to weight gain. Unless you're trying to gain weight, then go for it. Anyways, all right. That's it for this this day's food. That apparently I decided I was going to show you my food, but I will be closing things out tomorrow. Oh, and apparently I just like watching serial killer murder documentaries in the evening while I eat my food. I think something is wrong with me. Can anyone relate? Do you have any serial killer documentaries you could tell me about? I did watch part of the Jeffrey Dahmer one, and that was a lot. I'm not very squeamish, but I couldn't finish that one. That was a lot. Toby's over here. He's licking his foot. Toby, hey, stop that. What you doing? You gonna watch the show with me too? Do you also like murder documentaries? Don't get any ideas. Alright, we're cool, right? Why do you look guilty? Alright. Alright guys, I'm gonna wrap the video up here, but I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that have kind of kept me going over the past years, months, even weeks with this prep, and something that I needed to hear even the past couple of days. And so a little backstory, whenever I'm feeling a little bit doubtful, or I'm feeling a little less motivated, or the motivation, I'm going through a phase where motivation is low, one of my biggest tools is that I will watch Kobe Bryant like motivational videos, which sounds kind of weird, especially since I was a Kings fan. However, I was born in the Los Angeles area, so I can swing both ways. Go Lakers. And unfortunately Kobe is no longer with us. Anyways, that being said, I really like to listen to his motivational speeches for a few reasons. One, he makes me feel less weird about being obsessed with things. And with bodybuilding, you kind of have to be obsessed. It's something that I always felt self-conscious about, or like I had to hide. And it's something even now still people say like, oh, you're obsessed, it's an unhealthy thing, blah, blah, blah. But I am the happiest when I'm able to pursue something obsessively, and you kind of have to be obsessed in order to do bodybuilding or to be any sort of semi-good at bodybuilding. It's one of those things that just is all-encompassing. You just have to surround, like, everything about your life is bodybuilding when you're in prep, or if you want to pursue bodybuilding seriously. But of course, with that comes self-doubt. It's a lot of hard work. I often question myself, did I improve from last time? Am I just too small? Can I ever win my class? Would I ever be able to get a pro card? Am I just dreaming? And honestly, it doesn't matter. So there's this certain clip in a lot of Kobe Bryant motivational videos where he talks about reaching the level of Michael Jordan, all of the greats, the GOATs of basketball. And he mentions, he said, can I get to that level? And he says, I don't know, but let's find out.
Watch Magic play, I'd watch Michael play, and I would see them do these unbelievable things, and I'd say, can I get to that level? I don't know, but let's find out. Let's find out.
And so basically my mantra for the past, year, but also my mantra through this prep is let's find out. So instead of approaching things with self-doubt or feeling like I shouldn't have any doubt at all, I'm approaching it with curiosity. And essentially it's like, I don't know if I'll be able to pull this off. I don't know if I'll be able to place better or win or etc. But let's find out. I'm ready to do the best I can, and then we'll see what happens from there. So I just want to share that with you all, because I can certainly get in my head a lot. I do it pretty much at least once a day, I feel like. So I'm just kind of remembering Kobe's words, and I think it's another way that, I think some people probably saw him as being pretty arrogant, but I don't think it was that. Like, he had some confidence, but I think what you just didn't see with him was self-doubt, because he kind of transferred it over into just being curiosity. Could he be on that level? Was he good enough? He's just like, I don't know. I'm gonna find out. So he just basically, gave it all away and was just like, I'm gonna do the best that I can to get to that level if it is possible, and I'm gonna find out if I can. So that's kind of where I'm at. I've had to give myself that little pep talk multiple times this week, I feel like, because I'm not someone who does well with uncertainty, and I feel like that's why I look to Kobe, because he was perfectly fine with uncertainty. He didn't know what he was capable of, but he didn't let it stop him. And I don't think I've ever let it stop me either. But it's just a good little reminder and a good little another mindset shift. So can I do it? Can I get through this prep? Can I place? Can I win? I don't know, but let's find out. All right, guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out. I'll see you next time.